That was weird. Once the two of us made our way back to the office, I take a look around to make sure nothing has been touched. Books are a little out of place, but the desk drawer is slightly open. Coffee is still warm just as I left it all. Dave collapses onto the red couch and kicks his feet up lazily, twisting slightly to see me standing in front of the bookcase. Right, what have we got? A lot. Yes, quite a bit. Catch me up. Well, for starters, the coffee was warm when I got here. Know anything about that? Warm coffee? It's kind of weird. Isn't it freshly poured? See for yourself. Motion to the tea set on the table. Then he walks towards it, cautiously peering over one of the cups. Can kind of see some smoke coming from the cups if I get real close. The smell is so strong, almost as if it was recently poured. Come to think of it, did you smell coffee in the bathroom? I did, but there was none in sight down there. Who was that the matter besides the security guard? Do you think he comes in here and has his coffee? That guy outside? Absolutely not. Terrified of the place. Haven't ever seen him step foot inside. Do droids pour coffee? Right, a droid came in here for its own, or on its own, and poured a nice glass of coffee for us. They deliver packages, don't they? Yes, but making drinks is something else entirely. Baffled, honestly, because I haven't heard anyone else while we've been here. Manor isn't that big. Maybe it's some kind of science thing to do with room temperature or something. I'm not banking on it. I shake my head lightly. And don't say it's a ghost. I don't think a ghost would pour some coffee. Let's move on. We can come back to this later. Next finding concerns the desk. Nameplate outside the door says Miss Harkin. And given that this doesn't look like a bedroom, it must be her office. Okay, I'm following. This is definitely an office. Shouldn't offices have papers? Imagine there'd be files for all the orphans who were kept here. Looks like the drawer was cleaned out. That's kind of weird, right? Is there another place where files would possibly be kept? Adoptions would take place in the headmaster's office. I'm sure the files would be here. If there's no files, that's really strange. Okay, two strange things on our list. I don't like that. Earlier you said that you cleaned this room. Is that the truth, or were you trying to shut me up? I've cleaned it before, yes. But I've never taken papers out of drawers or poured coffee. Yeah, that's what I thought. Strange thing number 3. What about the bookcase? Said something about a secret door, right? There are hinges on the bookcase. Frodo thinks it's a secret entrance. I don't know what we'll find in there, but if I had to guess, I think it'll be a big part of our investigation. What are we waiting for then? Let's crack it open. Dave finally straightens up from his seat on the couch and walks over to the bookcase. Oh, I see the hinges. Cleverly hidden, but apparently not clever enough. Can he get it open? Maybe I just wasn't strong enough. I can try. Dave tugs on the end of the bookcase with enough force to knock some of the books over. Nope, this bad boy is all sealed up. Let me try something else. Takes the remaining books out, arranges them, and kicks the bookshelf. All to no avail. Okay, I've got nothing. Freddy said this could be a puzzle or something. A puzzle? Do you know how late it is? I don't want to solve any puzzles. He groans. It might not be that complex. Do you think it was going to have some kind of special lock to hide important things? Like entire secret rooms? Never thought of it myself, but I'm sure it would definitely be possible. Kind of like the hidden drawer in the bedrooms. Yo, maybe the desk has like a button, like a hidden button somewhere on it? Oh, that gives me an idea. It could have been hidden in plain sight. That way we might not even notice it. Dee agrees with me, and that's a good idea and together the two of us search for something, anything, that could be helpful, but it's no use. After a good 20 minutes, the two of us collapse onto the couch together, burying my face in my hands while Dee drapes his arms around the top of the couch. Now what? Maybe there isn't a secret room back there after all. Frodo said so. Yeah, but like you said about the transport droids, can't replace people. Knowledge can be wrong. Certainly, but these hinges on the bookcase, why else would they be here? Decoration? You can barely see them. Let me try something else. Take out my phone and begin scrolling through apps. Much to the curiosity of my investigative partner, stop at the notepad and wave it around Dee's face. What is this? The memo app on my phone. Going to be the scribe. Okay, there we go. Don't know why my game lagged it. Okay, what? Going to pretend this is one of those elaborate escape rooms. We're solving a puzzle. I'll tell you the names of all the books and you write them down. Okay, then what? Then we read them together and try to see if perhaps there's a clue. Alright, how do I write on this thing? Doesn't know what a phone is. Interesting. Makes me further believe that maybe he is a ghost of some kind. So use your fingers. You tap the screen and the eraser will pop up. Stand up and head over to the bookshelf. First we have... Got all that? I'm done reading off all the names. I walk over to Dee, who pulls my phone close to his chest. I might have missed one or two. That's okay, we can go over what we have and see what's missing. Take a seat on the couch by Dee and hold my hand out for my phone. Dee pops it into my palm with a satisfied smirk. God damn it, Dee. What is this? Cry when I see that what Dee has spent the last 10 minutes doodling. On the black and white line notepad app is a sketch of a dolphin. Very nice sketch. I'm mostly quite surprised by it. Lines are a bit jagged on some of the edges, but it's impressive for a quick sketch nonetheless. The center of the drawing is my name in scratchy text. Looks like Dee tried to fill the letters in. At the bottom is Dee's signature in a similar font, with a little heart. Do you like it? I do, but I had to stay strong. No, Dee is only kidding around. What was at the turning point of our investigation? It's cute, sure, but that isn't what I told you to do, Dee. I know, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Distracted by a notepad? Not by the notepad, by you. Me? Yeah, you looked really focused. I thought it was kinda cute. But I'm not an artist, so a fancy portrait was out of the question. I did the next best thing. A dolphin. A little dolphin. Right, of course. Dee frowns at my silence. I'm sorry. Can't be mad at him for this. Wasn't focusing on the task at hand, but the drawing was a sweet gesture nevertheless. Willing to overlook it, but only because that was a good drawing. I used a clip something. It's like a sticker. Clip art. Clip art, Grandpa. Sure, Miss has a drone. Chuckle as I collapse onto the couch again, but not before saving the image that Dee drew for me. It does feel good to be off on my feet for a few minutes, but the two of us are none for the better. Should we try again? For what? Might be more time and effort wasted on something we're not even certain about. Out of frustration, I kick my legs up and onto the table. Teacups shake a bit and some coffee spills out onto the plates they sit atop. This sucks. I stop as I hear a creaking sound. Bookcase opens slowly, making a loud noise as it does so. What? Crying out as I jump to my feet. Is it really opening? Yeah, you did it. Looks like there was a lever or something under the table. No way it was that simple. You did say it could be right in the open, remember? And not that open. Whatever, we take the wins. Drop my knees and peer under the table for what could have possibly unlocked the door and see a little switch on the underside of the table. I guess me kicking it unlocked the door. How serendipitous. Ready to see what's in there? Really have no idea. Nope. Guess it'll be a mystery to us all. Frodo, are you ready? Yes, Miss Delphine. Okay, no. Yep, I already see blood, which is not good. Three of us enter the hidden room, and smacked with a stale, musty smell of old blood and dust build-up. Also another scent. Hint of something I can't identify. It's pungent, resembling some kind of chemical. It's gone through my nose in disgust as I take in a gruesome sight in the middle of the room. There's a skeleton hunched over a stack of papers, cradling it like a child. Blood splattered all over the walls, the floor, and the sparse furniture decorating the room. Gasp aloud, taking a step back, nearly bumping into Day in the process. Sorry, No, it's okay. These words are a low rumble, shaking as they leave his lips. Is it really okay? Colour leaving Day's face and a look of pure shock in his eyes betrays sentiment. Reality of the situation finally settles in. It's more than anything I'd ever planned for when leaving my house tonight. Crane seeing that Day had sworn he didn't want the orphanage to be remembered as is sprawled out in front of us, like a centerfold in a magazine. My heart begins to speed up, and for the first time tonight, I'm terrified. Uneasiness settles on my heart, one that Day seems to be feeling as well. Ellie's toothy grin and jovial tone have nothing to hold on to. A thrilling night of banter, investigation, getting to know one another begins to settle away, right in front of my eyes. I always feel like a terrible person for indulging in any of that while the skeleton has remained hidden and forgotten for decades. Day? What the hell is this? Day's earlier surprise has morphed into anger as he pulls his hands into fists, nearly growls. Instinctively, I take a small step backwards. This can't be right. What do you mean? I'm sure my voice is small and timid, but it's all I can muster at this time. Day wraps his arms around himself. The room doesn't look like it was ever in good shape. It's like a dungeon. I hope it wasn't used as some sort of torture room or something. That'd be kind of fucked. Dark stone walls, the cold cement flooring, lack of furniture, and of course the skeletons spelled that idea out clear as day. You think this room was always used as a dungeon? I know about dungeon, literally, but definitely not anything good. Just as Day finishes his thought, a loud bang reverberates through the room. I instantly cover my ears with my hands, shutting my eyes tightly. Just the door, closed behind us. We can get out of here, right? We're not trapped in here. Oh no, are we stuck? Eyes flutter open when I hear Day's footstep approach the door. Doesn't take many attempts to figure out that we're locked in. Fuck. It's no good. I could call someone for help, maybe. I wonder unless we're in immediate danger. Trespassing, remember? Yeah, I guess you're right. The option is there if we need it, though. For now, I say we investigate what's in here. Maybe there's another lever or something. Right, good idea. But for now, I need a minute to process everything. I'll tell you anything interesting that I find. Thank you. D heads to the doorway and leans against the frame. Frodo, activate the investigation macro, please. Certainly, Delphine. As the room is rather small, it only takes a few moments for Frodo to successfully run the macro. Though, as it projects the image, I'm a little shocked. The icon mirrors the room we're standing in exactly. This hasn't been the case in any other projection. Does it rule out the idea of a failsafe set by Tacnia? Or did they not account for us stumbling upon their secret? Whatever the case, I don't have time to dwell on it now. Frodo is quick to shake me from my thoughts. What would you like more information about? Do you want to know more about the skeleton or the papers? Well, we'll check the papers out first, I think. Make my way over to the stack of papers. The skeleton is draped over the pile of it, as if hugging it for dear life. As I got closer, realized that I have to move the poor skeleton over to get a better look at the contents of the papers. Turned to look at D, who is leaning against the wall with his eyes shut. D, how should I go about moving this thing? His eyes flew open slowly in front of me. I suppose you just be gentle with it. Dealing with someone to remains, you know. Yeah. Gently move the skeleton's arms first and place it on the ground. Then the other arm and finally the head. By the end of it, my hands are full of dust. Gross. I'm sorry. I really didn't think we'd find the skeleton when I asked you to come into the matter with me. It's okay. Not like you killed this person, right? Right. Right. Still, it's a bit much, don't you think? I'm the worst at first dates.
A girl doesn't want to be swept away by a murder investigation.
If that's the case, I don't think I can stop this next time. But enough of that. What did the papers say? Okay, right. These footsteps are quiet as he approaches me. Two of us kneel down and look at the papers. I probably shouldn't be touching this. Why not? I should get the cops involved. This is a crime scene evidence. I'm hating it. Do you think this is better left to the police? They didn't do much on this case when it happened. I mean, it was years ago. Protocols are different now. We have better technology. I'd rather know the truth ourselves before it's swiped under the rug. Rui told me that you don't know much about what happened here. That's not a coincidence. Whatever scandal happened regarding this back then wouldn't affect now, would it? Depends on what we find out. I gulp. That's a scary thought. What could be so significant that it tarnished interstices even now? Turn my attention to the papers in front of me. There's got to be over 200 pages stacked haphazardly. Some documents are sticking out from the pile, while the corners folded, while others are turned horizontally. These don't look very organized. Like perhaps someone took them in a rush. What gave you that idea? You said the drawers were completely empty? Yeah, I thought it was weird, but the drawers weren't left open. They were closed. So, maybe the person who took the papers didn't want people to notice anything suspicious? Hence the coffee being out? But the coffee was still warm. Explain that, D. I really can't. Still, doesn't change what I was getting at. Documents were cleared from the desk and brought here in a hurry. Agree or disagree? Agree. Guessing the papers were child records from Miss Harkin's desk. Those would be pretty valuable and need protecting. Take the first document from the stack and look it over. There's a lot of legal jargon, but these don't look like child records at all. Unless the child records talk about the property's worth, I don't think so. Point to a spot on the paper, signed by the late Mr. Artino himself.
What?
What is this? I believe this is what a house deed looks like. Mr. Artino was leasing the place to Miss Harkin. Oh yeah, that makes sense. My eyes scanned the page, stopping at a significantly large number. Oh my gosh, she had to pay so much to operate this place. $500,000? This lady must have been loaded. No way, that's impossible. It says it right here, D. Look. Slide the paper towards him. But what else do these papers say? Look through more pages from the stack, stopping when I come across a contract. Scan it quickly and shake my head. This is Miss Harkin's contract with Mr. Artino, who are working here. I think she is legally responsible for anything that happens here. I think it traces the dense paragraph. Words becoming increasingly difficult to understand. Why do I feel like this is all muddled and complicated on purpose? I wonder if Miss Harkin knew what she was getting into. It's that bad? Definitely. The contract says that if the orphanage were to negatively be in the public eye, Harkin would owe more than $500,000 she paid to rent out the place. Why would she sign this? It's absolute trash. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Makes it sound like this entire murder thing was staged. Dave's silent. He shakes his head and lets out a grunt of anger. What the hell? None of this makes sense. You know what I think? Miss Harkin thought that something was going to happen to the orphanage. She'd hide these papers away so Mr. Artino couldn't find them. With a deal like this, why wouldn't Artino have a backup? Well, if he did have copies, maybe there's a public court records. If Miss Harkin died, then her family would inherit the debt. I certainly say this place had a bad reputation. Yeah, $500,000 one. Frodo, can you search if the Tina family has any court documents on record? Specifically with anyone with the last name Harkin?
One moment, please. Searching archives.
Day and I wait in painful silence, till finally Frodo finishes their search. Gene Artino won a case against the Harkin family for $650,000. What was the reason they were in court? Breach of contract, defamation of character, and attempted theft. That's a lot, but does sound like our case. It does indeed. Need some time to think the information over now. Me too. Let's reconvene in a bit. Two of us part ways briefly and return to what we were doing on our own. Okay, time to check out the skeleton. Press the skeleton kneeled down by it to get a closer look. Frodo's flashlight shining on it, I can see a lilac purple blazer, white undershirt, and a red pin on the front pocket. Pants are matching purple, making the whole thing look gaudy. Frodo, are you able to identify this person?
One moment, please. Searching archives.
A news story was found matching the location and outfit. Shall I read a brief excerpt? Yes, please. It's the first time I'm looking into official news reports about the Little Voices orphanage. Merely my searches in the past haven't proven too successful. 6 staff members and 20 children aged between 5 and 14 were killed in a targeted attack at the Little Voices orphanage. Targeted attack? Shall I continue? Yes, go on. Sources close to the Tino family who own the manor say that a 23-year-old former staff member unleashed gas into the orphanage after a young girl he had grown close to was adopted. It was unclear if there were any predatory relationship between the child and the older male. Anything about Miss Harkin? Except a taint. I will read it to you. Thank you. Miss Harkin was a paragon for the intersex community. She worked to create a safe and welcoming home for children without parents. And it is said to this day that during her last few minutes, she worked tirelessly to save as many people as possible. That's not right. Hit Dave's voice behind me and I jump.
Huh?
The article made it seem like Miss Harkin was trying to help the kids escape. Not the case at all. She's on the ground right here. Looking at the picture of the suit from the article, this really is Harkin. Well, what was she doing in the back room by herself? The article said a gas was unleashed into the manor, so is there any ventilation here that would let the gas in? Maybe she was hiding away to shield herself. No kids and other staff in sight. Wasn't protecting anyone but herself. Apart from gas? I'm not sure. Would Harkin even have time to crawl in here in the middle of a gas attack? I guess it depends on the gas. I'm guessing your droid can't tell us. Shake my head. No, fortunately it cannot. But if you inhale a gas and are aware of it, you can run out of the building, not further into it. The door closes like it did to us, she'd have no way out. She locked herself in here. Whatever out there must have been way scarier. Exactly. Let's not forget the blood. Maybe she died of a natural infliction. There isn't any on the floor near her, only the walls. Day has points to Harkin's coat. No blood on the coat either. This must really be a dungeon after all. Let's hope not. Dave frowns himself. Could she have starved to death? Maybe Harkin couldn't open the door. Wrap my arms around myself. Don't say that. Getting out. Don't worry. I like your confidence, but things aren't looking so promising right now. We're stuck in a room with a dead woman. It is not hopeless. Let's recount what we learned and see if it makes any sense. My tentative guess is that Harkin ran in here to hide from something happening in the manor, leaving the kids and other staff to deal with it, and then guess she died somehow. Of course that's speculation. Details in the middle can change. Son of a bitch. He pulls his hands into a fist as he has done earlier. Anger taking over once again. He's like he can't bite back his words any longer. Harkin is a coward. Even the kids out there to die while she crawled in here is pathetic. It was her job to protect them. They had no one else to rely on. Dave lets out his words in an impassioned fury. For a moment, I swear I see a tear begin to form in the corner of his eye. Beyond angry. This is really affecting him. Dave. What? Snaps at me, baring his teeth. I had to calm him down somehow. Make sense of the situation. What should I say? Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. I know you probably wanted things to turn out differently. Once, I just wanted there to be someone who gave a fuck about the kids like me. Whether you're an orphan or a foster kid, it makes no difference. We want to be taken care of and loved like anyone else. People like Harkin make it very obvious that they didn't feel like we were worth saving. I can hear the pain in his voice as he struggles to fight back tears. Day is someone who had to fight to be heard and understood for years. All he really wants is to be appreciated, but he must not have ever felt that way. I think you're worth saving. Don't have to say that because I'm upset. I wouldn't lie to you, Dee. I haven't done that once, have I? Shakes his head. You haven't, no. Because I'm not a liar. When I say you're worth saving, I really mean it. Can't imagine what tonight would have been like without you. Probably really boring. Cracks a small smile. Exactly. And to up the ante, I wouldn't pick anyone else to be trapped in a secret room with. You already know I'd say the same thing about you. Yeah, but it's still nice to hear it every once in a while, right? He nods his head. Right. I'm sorry I snapped at you. It's okay, you had a good reason for being upset. Still, you're not my punching bag. I'm your friend, so if you need to let out your feelings, I'm here. Thank you. Of course. Jay and I spend a moment of silence together before going our separate ways and moving on to the next task. I begin to gather my thoughts when I hear a strange sound. It's low and foreboding at first, but then it grows increasingly louder as time ticks on. Ah, shit. Well, we're fucked. What is that? What is that? I'm gonna cough as something fills my lungs. It's pungent, tickling my nose and burning my throat. Gas? This must be how Harkin died. Truth begins to dawn on me. The room was built into Harkin's office as a gas trap. Who was supposed to be lured in here? I'm not so sure of. But Day and I are about to be the newest victims. Got to get out of here, now. See Day's petrified face for only a moment before the room begins to fill with heavy beige fog, circling the two of us. I reach out into the thicker smoke to try and find Day, but there's nothing but hot, sticky air.
Day!
Shout out in panic, trying to reach him with my voice, though as I inhale more smoke, my eyes begin to water, tears building up in them. Cough after cough release my lips. Day not stay in here much longer, or no doubt die. Don't talk. Opening your mouth will let in more gas. Starting in the direction of his voice, growing sluggish with each passing second. It feels as if I'm pulling on an entire sled on my back. It is closer and closer to Day. What little strength I have left, reach up to my face and cover my mouth and nose with my gloved hand. I'm going to get us out of here. Day's voice, full of terror, makes me wince. This wasn't how our night was supposed to end. Door. The memory of what happened earlier floods my mind. If I do manage to reach Day, we're trapped. Don't worry about the door. Just stay where you are and cover your mouth. Stumble forward, tripping over the stack of papers, landing on the ground. Everything in front of me starts to whirl around like I'm on a merry-go-round. Last-ditch effort to save myself. Getting the call forward, stopping when I see bright pink lights of Day's shoe a few inches ahead of me. Protocol. But by now, it's too late. I've inhaled too much smoke.
Delphine!
Day's voice of agony isn't the last thing I want to hear, but I suppose it's fitting in a place like this. Everything begins to dim. You know that means it's all over. When I open my eyes, I'm in a bed that certainly isn't mine. A very comfy bed. Despite my unfamiliar surroundings, I have no intention of getting up even as the bright light from the window beats down onto my skin. One feeling settles inside of my chest as I take in the sights of the cozy room. There's a rocking chair with a blue and yellow cushion facing the bed. Has someone been watching over me? Next to the rocking chair is a rather large chest with an oversized teddy bear sticking out from it. There's a similar but much smaller bear on the end of the table to my right. This must be a child's room.
Oh, good! You're awake!
I thought you'd be a goner. The voice belonging to a young girl. It's loud and clear, but I can't see her around anywhere. Draw from the bed and look around for the origin of the voice. Huh? Who said that? You can hear me? Yes, finally! Didn't think anyone would ever hear me again. Girl's voice is full of excitement and joy. It's hard not to want to hear more. Lean against the bed and look up at the ceiling, as if that's where she could possibly be. Yes, I can hear you, but I don't see you. There's too much energy to keep you here and show myself.
I'm only a kid, you know.
Energy? What are you talking about? Energy. We all have it, and you use it to do stuff. Duh. Right, okay. Totally not confused. I should start from the beginning then, huh? That would probably be best, yeah. Okay, my name is Hera. Hera? That's a beautiful name. Yeah, Hera from the notes. Where have I heard it before? My brain feels a little hazy, like it's grasping for something that's no longer there. Not as pretty as Delphine. Your name sounds like a dolphin. Yeah, it means dolphin too. I'm so jealous. From the way the girl is speaking, it's obvious that she's very young. Can't be older than 12. Hera, how old are you? I'm 10. Not as big as you and Big Brother Moss. Moss? The guy from the letter D and I found in the bedroom. My eyes wide in shock as I piece together the information. Like a fog has been lifted from my mind as I recall earlier events. Was I just in a room filled with gas? Place a hand on my chest. There's no pain or labored breathing. I'm completely fine. Which means... my gosh, I'm dead, aren't I? That's why I can't see you. Well, big person, you're not being very calm. You're not dead. I am. What? I'm not going silly. No. I held too much gas. Am I just playing tricks on me? No, Big Brother Moss saved you before that could happen. Watching you for him. Hetty doesn't really know that. Voice trails off, leaving more than a little mystery in the air. Never hears me, no matter how hard I try to call out to him. Wait, is Moss our pink-haired friend? Yeah, he was here. I figured as much, but he went by a different name. So I'm watching you on my own. I think he'll be happy, especially now that you're awake. But you can talk to him. You can see him, and he sees you back. That's great news. I'll be able to talk to him, finally. Her glee drowns out the important information she had dropped only a minute ago. I struggle to make sense of her words. Who is Moss? Is he here too? No, not right now. He's resting. Carrying you here was a lot of work for a ghost. He used up all his energy. He was a fucking ghost, I called it. A ghost saved my life? Despite my reaction to Dave's teasing about ghosts, I never once felt the presence of one. It was our pink-haired friend again. Like, I fucking called it earlier because we couldn't hear him and shit. I didn't think it was actually going to be real, or that I was going to be right, but... I'm sorry, it's a lot to make sense of. Where is this Moss character? I want to talk to him. He's not a stranger, you know. I've been traveling with him this whole time. While traveling with Moss, I didn't know about it. Of course you did. Big Bro Demos. And she says her brother's full name aloud. I'm struck with awe as a gut-wrenching feeling travels through my body. Finally understanding what she's actually saying. You mean Day? It's impossible. He's not a ghost. Sure he is, same as me. But he has more energy, so he can do way cooler things. You know, like use his body, grab things, make the ruins really pretty. That's my favourite part. And I even fucking called that shit too. Once I'm actually right about a lot of things, so yeah, all that shit that we saw was actually an illusion. And so when Frodo was taking all those photos, that's how the rooms actually looked like here and now. Holy shit. What else was I right about? Oh god, he's not the killer, is he? Because I also guessed that as well. Oh no. Hopefully I'm not right on that one. I take a seat onto the bed and pull my legs up onto my chest. Slowly, I rock back and forth as I let Hera's words wash over me. Refuse to believe it. What's wrong? This is true. Your brother lied to me. Shut my eyes and think about the night he and I shared together. Have always been things I couldn't explain when it come to day. Knew an awful lot about the orphanage. Even shared a similar past as the children who lived here. Could sneak up on me quite easily because I never heard him approaching. Knew exactly where the letter addressed to Moss was, and went out of his way to clean the bedrooms, which according to Hera, he used his ghost energy for. Count all this information to the girl who only giggles. Are you understanding now? Big Brother is really amazing. Hera, it all felt so real. How can Day be a ghost? It is real, silly. You can see him and talk to him. I wish I could do that. What do you mean?
I talk and talk and talk. But he never listens.
He can't hear or see me. You're the only one who can talk to us. Stirring pain slices through my heart. From the letter I read, it seemed like Deimos, had a strong bond with Hera. Must have been so lonely being here by himself for so long. Wonder he was determined to get me to come inside the manor with him. Needed me to help him find the truth, because he couldn't do it himself. Are we still in the orphanage, Hera? Yes, Big Bro spent a lot of energy trying to make it look like it did when we lived here. That's what Deimos must have meant when he said he cleaned out the bedrooms. Deimos made sure the orphanage didn't have any of the bloodstains or tattered furniture that Frodo was showing us. Living an illusion of what his life once was. He's sharing that with me. What happens when he runs out of energy? He disappears.
Where would he go, Hera?
Hold back the tears that are starting to spill out of my eyes. Ghost or not, Day and I formed a close relationship. Need to make sure that he's okay. At the very least, he deserves my gratitude for saving my life. I don't know. This has never happened before. Those words, spoken in a small voice, rattle me. Sometimes he goes around town and takes things, like clothes and stuff. We would bother the robots, but he always comes back. I don't even feel him here anymore. Suddenly realizing the situation, her voice crumbles. She's scared of losing her older brother again.
Can you look for my big bro?
Please, Delphine. You have to help him. Can't leave this place like you and him. I'm stuck. I'll try my best. Thank you. Don't know what I'd do without him. Even though you can't speak to him. Knowing he is here is enough. With him gone, I'll be all alone again, like before I came to the orphanage. An unmistakable pain that settles on my heart. Deimos is her whole world, even in death. Imagine Deimos feels the same way. Know what I have to do. Hera's stuck here because she won't leave without her big brother. Deimos can't leave because he has some kind of unfinished business he needs to take care of. I have to finish the investigation. Where's my drone? Still in the secret room, but it's dangerous. You have to go home. What about Deimos? If he's recharging, you should too. She's right.
I'm going to go home now, Hera. Will you be alright?
I think so. Please come back, Deli. For Big Bro. I haven't seen him smile in a really long time. I promise I'll be here tomorrow. Stay out of trouble, okay? I hear a giggle. I haven't heard that in a really long time. How horrible it must have been for the girl to spend decades trapped, watching her brother, but never being able to communicate with him. Must make this right for both of them. Here and I say our goodbyes. Leave the manor with little difficulty thanks to my new ghost pal. Fortunately, that's the only easy thing about my departure. There's so many overwhelming feelings that I can't seem to fight my own way through. Filled with dread as I think of Deimos. Where has he gone? Will he ever return? So close to solving the mystery of what happened at the Little Voices orphanage. I'm afraid that Deimos might never fulfill his goal and cross over. A pit of anxiety in my stomach as well. What are Deimos' real intentions? What's his unfinished business in the manor? Sure, he didn't tell me why he was really there, or the full story at least. Then there's an insurmountable sorrow as my illusion comes crashing down around me. The man I've begun to grow a bond with is a ghost. It pictures us hanging out together and becoming even better friends. But that's an impossible dream now. What I can hope to do is help him cross over and live a peaceful life. Heart hurts, and I don't know what to do about it. For now, I'm trusting in Hera and the story. I'll return to the manor tomorrow to see if Day has returned. Last night, I was battling with a restless sleep. Kept tossing and turning every few hours as Hera's words echoed in my mind. I was hoping that I woke up, it would all be a dream induced by the inhalation of too much gas. But other than a broken heart, my body feels fine. Yawning escapes my lips. Much as I'd like to stay in bed this morning, it's not an option. Need to go back to the Atino Manor. When I slide my feet over the side of the bed, I kick something and nearly fall forward.
Huh?
Frodo? The ground by the foot of my bed is my drone. Looks a little worse for wear, but it's still intact. I kneel over to pick it up. Eyes flash down and Frodo floats by my side.
User 2 has a message for Delphine. Open it.
User 2? That's from Day. Yes, of course I want to open it. Clap my hands together, leaning slightly forward with anticipation to see what he has to say. Whatever it is, good or bad, I want to hear his voice, if even for one last time. Frodo plays the message, heart begins to swell. Mixture of feelings I can't quite describe as I hear Day's voice coming from the speakers. Delphine, hope you're okay. I got back from trying to get help, saw that you were gone. Looked everywhere for you, but it only made sense that you'd be home where you belong. Feel the tears welling up in my eyes. Is this really where I belong? Feels empty knowing that Day can't be here with me. I'm sorry for leaving, but in the state that I was in, I couldn't do much more to protect you. I'm glad that you're safe. I had Frodo take pictures of the documents that were in the secret room. Well, the ones that looked important anyway. You'll never guess what we found. A patent for Technia Incorporated signed by Mr. Atino. It means something huge. I think that Atino used the money extorted from the Harkin to found his business. Dirty money, gained illegally, still dirty in the eyes of the public. This is the break that I needed to shed light on the actions of the Technia Inc. Show people that the company was built upon lies and deceit. Because all along, the two of us knew the ending our journey would have, regardless of Day's morality.
If I solved the mystery, then our adventure would be over.
It's time for good. I'll never see Day again. There is another message. Shall I play it? Yes, please, keep going. Trusting you to do whatever you think is right with this information. Fortunately, I raised the footage from Frodo for everyone's safety. Investigating almost got you killed, and I'll always be sorry for that. I was the one who told you not to call for help the minute we found the skeleton.
I'm not sure if we'll ever meet again. but the time I spent with you was magical.
I haven't felt so alive in a long time. But this is the end. It has to be. I deserve a better goodbye, but I don't have the courage to tell you to your face. I'm sorry. Guess my closing note is thank you. You truly are one of a kind, little dolphin. Keep doing what you're doing and use your voice for good. The rest of his message is cut off. I reach up and wipe the tears from my eyes as they begin to stain my cheeks. Deimos is telling me to move on, live my life without him. In my heart, I know that I have to. There's no other choice. While Deimos has pieced together most of the puzzle, there are still a few details I'm not sure about. Investigation isn't over. I stretch my arms over my head and sit at my computer desk. Shoot my father a text telling him I'm not feeling well enough to come to the office today. Spend the next few hours typing away. Search one thing after another. Try any and all keywords that come to mind. Most of the articles are similar. Spoke of an ill young man who killed everyone in the orphanage because he was jealous that a girl he had come to grow affections for was being adopted. One article in the bunch is slightly different. On the webpage, it says that because of the nature of the crime and the age of the victims, man's name was not released to the public. Going on further, find that of the many who died at the orphanage, none of them were identified publicly out of respect to the victims. It was not so much as an investigation of the matter or hidden in the guise of mourning. Proper police search would have found Harkin's body. But why didn't they search? Where was the foul play? Type Gino Tino into the search bar. Several different sources come up. There are pictures of him shaking hands with the councilmen, holding the keys to his manor, even speaking publicly to a group of protesters. Seems he was deeply involved in the political climate of interstice at the time. Perhaps this was how he got away with everything. How now his descendants are able to operate in the old abandoned manor with mere support. But knowing that Tino caused this whole mess isn't enough for me. When I want to expose him, I need to tell the story of the people whose lives he ruined for money. Frodo, can you search Deimos? Followed by Little Voices Orphanage, and send the results to my computer?
Certainly.
One moment, Miss Carras. Miss Carras, that jolts me from my thoughts. The program I did earlier is gone. At least with my name. No longer being referred to as Delphine.
There seems to be no record of that name.
Okay, how about student records in general for the orphanage? One moment, please. There seems to be no record found. No, of course not. Can you search City Hall records specifically? There seems to be no record found. Orphanage must not have been registered officially. Otherwise there would be records of the kids and the staff who resided there. It was a farce from the very beginning. How do I tell Deimos that the place that was supposed to care for abandoned kids really operated as a means for Athena to profit? Perhaps at the end of the day, Harkin really believed she was doing the right thing, and tried to create a place to care for orphan kids. Can't make that judgment, but I can say there were often more effective ways to go about it. I had to go back to the orphanage and discuss this with Deimos. Whether he wants to see me or not. I made a promise to a little girl. I don't intend to break it. Time to sneak back into the manor. Getting inside of the manor in the morning is a lot easier than at night. All I had to do was pretend I was going to do a delivery nearby, take an accidental wrong turn, and then walk right into the place. Security guards and drones are nowhere to be found. Intentional or perhaps help from a friend. Though that all goes to the wind when I call out into the empty halls. There doesn't seem to be anyone here, no matter how much I call for Hera or Deimos. Neither of them show up. Halls I find myself in are nothing like the sight from the night before. There are blood splatters on the walls, floors and doors. Sconces on the walls are cracked, some more than others. This doesn't look anything like the scene of gas attack at all. Dave had just allowed me to see this yesterday. Shudder at the thought. Don't think it would have been an easy thing for either of us to handle. Whatever happened in these halls was violent and gruesome. Seeing this, I can't believe that Harkin was trying to hide away from this massacre. Ran my arms around my chest. The only thing that was cleaned up were the bodies. I suppose that's to keep the public from finding out about the legal operation of the orphanage. People who died here deserve so much more than what they got. Wish there was a way to make it right for all of them. My heart lurches. No wonder Deimos lives in an illusion of what once was. This is horrifying. But he has to face the truth. He wants to be able to make peace, at least for Hera's sake.
Deimos! You better show yourself!
I shout into the hall as loudly as I can. There's no response. I have to keep trying. I know the truth about you. Shout into the void once again, apprehension filling my gut. I could get caught here by any member of the intersticed community and shunned. Family business could be ruined. Yet, I don't care. My only goal is to get Deimos to come back.
You're back!
Hey, we got Hera back. Yay. Hand flies out to my heart as I take a step backwards. Hera, you scared me. Hey, I'm not scary.
I may be dead, but I still have feelings.
I feel a blush creeping to my cheeks. I didn't mean it like that. I wasn't expecting anyone to answer. No girl giggles. I know, I'm only joking. Glad you came back, Delphine. Really thought you weren't going to come back when you heard Big Bro's message. I was yelling at him to stop recording, but he couldn't hear me. He never hears me. Despite her agonizing words, her voice doesn't damper. She's still as joyous as ever.
Oh, but he can hear you. I know he's listening.
I called out to him, but he hasn't responded. I mean, in his heart. Imagine if she was standing in front of me, she'd have her hands over her heart. You still think Dave wants me in his heart? You know the answer to that, Deli. Deimos doesn't harbor any ill will towards me. He's pushing me away because he feels like he has to. That's not the only way out of this. I need to talk to him. Do you know where he is? He's in my room. Oh, but please be careful. It looks different. Deimos can't make things pretty again until he has all his energy back. It's okay. I think it's about time I had this place, or see this place for what it is. It's a mess, but don't be scared. I'm not scared with you and Dee around. Oh good, you don't have to be. Silence fills the room, and I wonder if Hera has left me to my own devices. After a moment, she speaks up in a small, timid voice.
It didn't hurt, you know.
Huh?
Dang, I mean. I didn't see it or feel it. It just happened. That's good to know. At least you didn't suffer. But I don't think Dave feels the same way. Sometimes he looks very sad. He couldn't save me, but I know he would have tried.
What's wrong? You look sad.
I feel really sad when I think about Deimos. He's a good person, but really bad things have happened. Wish that I could take all the pain away, make things better. You can, can't you? I'm gonna try, Hera. Really am.
Thank you.
Walk forward towards the young girl's room, step by step, till I finally reach the room in question. Taking a deep breath, stilling my nerves for when I come face to face with Day once again. I enter the room. It's as bad as Hero has warned me about. Blood spot on the walls looks like it has dripped down onto the pillows, on the bed and onto the old stained rug. The rest of the furniture looks untouched. When everything happened, Hera must have been sound asleep. At the very least, she didn't have to suffer. Though I'm sad that the world didn't get to experience her brightness.
I told you not to come back.
Deimos' voice, an unusually raspy and bitter tone, shatters me from my thoughts. I see him sitting on the ground with his legs pulled up to his chest. We lock eyes, notice the puffiness under them. Bares his teeth to me in a snarl, as if I'm the enemy. I couldn't do that. The investigation wasn't over. We made a promise to finish it together. I gave you all I need to expose Technia. Transport drones are as good as gone once that information goes public. I didn't hold up my end of the bargain yet. I told you we'd figure out what happened here together. It's user 1 and user 2. That's not what this is anymore. Deleting things from photo doesn't mean the events didn't happen. Walking carefully, one foot after another, afraid to disturb the gruesome scene. Kinda rude assuming I'll just leave things alone after all we've been through. It was one night, Delphine. Felt like a lifetime. You felt it too, didn't you, Deimos? My body groans rigid when I call him by his full name. Don't call me that. The only person who was allowed to is gone, so there's no reason I should be hearing it anymore. Cautiously, I take a seat beside Day, who doesn't move even an inch. You mean Hera? Deimos watches me curiously, but doesn't say a word. Don't think he really knows what to say. Straight us up. I know who you really are.
What are you trying to say, Delphine?
You should have just told me from the beginning that you were a ghost. I'm not a ghost. Please stop lying to me. Got a strong connection to this place. You can't hide it from me anymore. Fine, you're right. But would you have really gone forward with me if I told you who I really was? Maybe. We'll never know. Deimos hugs his leg tightly, but turns his head so they can get a good look at me. You're the first person to see me. We were able to communicate. After decades of roaming around in disguise, there was finally someone who could hear me. But you don't see it that way. You're mad. I can feel my hands shaking at my side. I want to be understanding of Deimos, but it hurts knowing that no matter how much time has passed and how much closer we get, never trusted me with the truth.
I see it in your eyes. You think I'm a monster just like everyone else.
Why would I think you're a monster? Because I'm the one who gets blamed for killing everyone here. Fuck. No! You're the jealous boy? The one who supposedly got so angry at Hera, getting an adoption offer that I went on a murdering spree. God fucking damn it. I was hoping I wasn't going to be right about this, but damn it. How gone down in history, the faceless assailant. He pulls his hand into his fist at his side, extending his legs outward. You can see angry tears forming at the corner of his eyes. Why would I do that? I want a hero to get adopted and escape the hellhole I was living in. I love the orphanage, but I was never treated like I belonged, even after 23 years of living here. I was a weird kid that aged out of the system. Had to beg Harkin to let me stay because I had nowhere else to go. I wanted Hera to have a family that could love and care for her more than I could. Instead, look what happened. Tina sent someone here to kill the residents of the orphanage in order to create a scandal that he could sue Harkin for. Yeah, I was right about that one as well. It was staged. Fill in the blank for him. Place wasn't operating legally, Dee. Did you know that? Dee nods his head. I suspected as much when we couldn't find any paperwork. Oh, it just makes me so mad. A filthy animal that took the lives of so many people for money. Seeing the company his family has built at the expense of mine is disgusting. Won't take me a go on as much as you do. So, why are you here instead of sharing the information with the world? I got the gist of it, but there are a few things I don't quite understand. You want to know what exactly happened on the day of the murder, don't you? Yes, I feel like I'm missing something. James was silent for a few moments before he finally nods his head. Okay, I'll tell you. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm okay. Takes a moment to collect his thoughts. It was dinner time when I came downstairs to the kitchen to help the other staff cook. Can you guess what was on the menu? Noodles?
Yeah.
Noodles. We were in the middle of cooking them when we heard a strange noise. Like a banging sound. Someone had gone into the manor with relatively no opposition. It all happened so fast. All I can really remember beyond that are gunshots. Jay makes a finger gun with his right hand and aims it forward, as if imitating what he'd seen. Right in front of me. People I've grown up with were dying. But at the time, I only had one thing on my mind. I was getting Hera to safety. I ran upstairs to check on her, but one of the guys chased after me. Knew that around this time she'd be taking a midday nap, so led the attacker to my room instead. That's the one with the balcony, you know, where the letter was. When Dean was recounting his tale is painful. Imagining him having to deal with this, a day when he was only trying to do his job, it's almost too much. Yet, Deimos looks on at me with a brave face. Bad guys followed me into the room, onto the balcony. The dent on the balcony. Cried realization. I did say that it looked like there was a struggle. There was a struggle. Tried to grab the man's gun, but I couldn't. He shot me. Pretty sure my body toppled over the balcony. This is where Deimos grows silent, shaking his head. Couldn't save her, or any of them. But you tried. That means something. I know. I keep telling myself that, but then I see this. Motions to the room we're sitting in. Tears sitting idly in his left eye. Wasn't good enough older brother to Hera. I don't have to argue, but he holds his hand up as if to tell me not to waste my breath. It was a long time ago. Came to terms with it already. The only thing I really wanted to know was who ordered the attack. You gave the information to me. But now that you have the full story, I need you to go and tell it to the world. Wasting time by sitting here with me. Can't leave yet. Hera asked me to talk to you. She thinks that I can help you break from the chains that are keeping you here. Dave's eyes widen. He shakes his head from left to right. It's impossible. Hera can't be here. She's crossed over. I'm the only one left. No, she refuses to leave without you. She's stuck here, same as you. Who would have told me she was here? She would if she could. She says she talks to you, but you can't hear her. Please believe me. No, you wouldn't lie to me. Doesn't blame you for anything. It was her choice to stick around. She says you're her whole life, and she wouldn't want to go anywhere without you. Dave grabs the loose fabric of his pants and squeezes it so tightly, his knuckles begin to turn white. Tears that threaten to spill out before and now waterfalls down his red cheeks. I want to let go of me and go into the light. No reason she should suffer because of me. Don't think she's suffering, Dee. Even though the two of you can't communicate, she still considers watching you as spending time together. We're still making memories together as brother and sister. Is she here? Not right now, no. Never want her to see me like this. Supposed to be the strong one.
You are strong, Deimos. You've endured so much, and you keep fighting.
Bites his cheek with the back of his gloved hand. I appreciate the misguided sentiment, but didn't I tell you to stop calling me by my full name? I hate it. I was brought to the orphanage as a baby after my parents died. Apparently I told my mother died giving birth to me. My father was so distraught he killed himself. I was a murderer before the age of 1. My heart can call me Deimos, god of dread and terror. You don't have to tell me it's not true. Come to terms with the way I view my parents' death, but I didn't like that other people got to make fun of me because of it. Do you want to talk more about it? You want to hear all the boring details? I want to hear whatever you want to tell me, Dee. I still care a lot about you. Doesn't matter to me if you're a ghost. I guess I was just mad that we can't be what I wanted us to be. I should have put a stop to it before it got too far. I wasn't expecting to enjoy spending time with you so much. Before I knew it, all night passed. It made me feel, as cheesy as this is, alive? Yeah, treat me like a regular person, so I wanted to pretend for a little bit. I knew it wouldn't last in the end, but I got caught up in the moment. Another life? I'd have loved to have taken you out somewhere fun. Had laughs, danced together, ate ice cream. Never been on a real date before, you know. Especially not with someone like you. Who would someone like me be, Dee? Someone out of my league. Gorgeous, but that's not what attracted me to you. You're funny and full of life. You also cared a lot about your family and justice. Those two things are very important to me. Shakes his head, as if dispelling the idea from his head. Better this way anyway. And if we're alive during the same time, you're not the kind of guy you'd write to home about. I would disagree. Cause you only know part of the story. Got to see the fun, carefree day last night. Deimos is the kid who stayed up all night crying because none of the kids liked him. He was the one who had to learn how to charm adults to get what he wanted because people didn't bat an eyelash otherwise. He was the one who snuck into Harkin's office, took her coffee to try and dye his hair a normal colour. Other kids wouldn't make fun of. Looks like the memories leave a bitter aftertaste in his tongue. That explains the warm coffee in our office. Yeah, I try to keep this place how I remembered it. Nobody wants to see all this blood, but right now, don't have enough energy to hide what happened here. Thank you for using your energy to save me. Hera told me that it took a lot, but she was afraid that you were going to disappear because of it. I told you that I'd protect you. I wasn't going to break that promise. You deserve to live a long life. You mean a lot to me, Delphine. Sorry for what I said earlier. It did make it feel like a lifetime. That's why it hurts so much right now. I have to let you go, because I'm stuck here. Doesn't mean that you have to be as well. Don't have to be stuck here, Dee. I want to help you, and Hera leave this place.
You're the delivery girl after all.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Trying to lure me and Hera to the other side. It's sweet of you. Two of you deserve to be happy. Torture can't go on forever. I won't allow it. Means everything to me that you're going to try, but you know it's not going to be that simple, right? What do you mean? Won't be able to just cross over. There's a lot I have to come to terms with.
Well, we can work that out together.
You need to talk to Hera, I can be her voice. You need someone to talk to about things, I'll be here listening. Or I'll be your listening ear. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Two of us sit there in silence, neither of us knowing what to do next. but that moment, it feels perfect. Knowing in my heart that we'll be able to find a resolution that is best for him and Hera, because the two of them deserve to be happy. Not sure how many days I spent at the Antino mansion after that, but it was quite a bit. I visited frequently to help Hera and Deimos talk to each other. I had a lot of unspoken feelings they needed to share. After much deliberation, I decided not to expose Atina's crime to the world. It seemed like he had dredged up too much of the past for Deimos, and he was already beginning to travel down the path of crossing over. I did, however, make a video about the positive side of the orphanage. Talked about how many kids were given love and a home that they might not have had otherwise. Talked about Deimos' memories and was sure to bring positive attention to the Antino Manor. Because of my video, people began to visit the building, despite explicit rules not to. Eventually, Technia Inc. was driven out. Community leaders began to renovate this place to create a community center that held the same ideals that the Little Voices orphanage was supposed to. Visit every now and then to help run local charities. The place is almost unrecognizable, though I know Deimos would be proud of what it has become. No longer around, but deep down, he's finally crossed over to a place where he and Hera can be together. Now, it's time for me to move on, live my own life. Oh, forever be grateful for the night I spent with Deimos. I hope that he's looking down on me with a smile. The end. Friendship. Oh, and that's the end. Delphine's discovery. Now, that was a bittersweet ending. I like that. But there are two other endings, but I'm not going to be getting that in this playthrough. If you guys want to get that for it, or try and get them yourself, the link will be down in the description below for this game. But yeah, I really like this. Really love the characters. They're very well written. Very well written. Yeah, definitely like Day and Delphine most. Well, I mean, those were really the only characters we got to see. But yeah, I had a lot of fun reading through this. I was surprised with how much I actually got right about this. Especially the revelations and stuff. But yeah. That's it for Delphine's discovery. Hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough, and yeah, we'll be moving on to the next game.